Herzogtum Lauenburg is the southernmost Kreis or district of Schleswig-Holstein, Germany. It is bordered by the district of Stormarn, the city of Lübeck, the state of Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, the state of Lower Saxony, and the city-state of Hamburg. The district of Herzogtum Lauenburg is named after the former Duchy of Saxe-Lauenburg. Geography. The district's territory comprises most of the former duchy's territory north of the River Elbe, except of the Amt Neuhaus. All the former Saxe-Lauenburgian areas beyond the Elbe belong today to the Lower Saxon districts of Cuxhaven, Harburg and Lüneburg. The district's area contains a number of historically important towns, e.g. Lauenburg, Elbe-Mollen and Ratzeburg. This importance was due to the old salt route, one of the major medieval trade routes. Salt from the saltworks south of the Elbe River was transported northward to Lübeck. The transport of salt was also the motive for constructing the oldest artificial waterway of Europe, the Stegnitz Canal. It was replaced in 1900 by the Elbe-Lübeck Canal. The landscape is characterized by numerous lakes, forming the Lauenburg Lakes Nature Park. The largest lake is the Ratzeburger See with an area of 16 square kilometers. History. The district Herzogtum Lauenburg is named after the medieval Duchy of Saxe-Lauenburg, which was one of the remnants of the original Duchy of Saxony. The Duchy of Saxony was partitioned in a process started in 1269. 9 years after, in 1260, Albert.The and John I had succeeded the father Albert.I of Saxony. In 1269, 1272 and 1282, the brothers gradually divided the governing competences within the three territorially unconnected Saxon areas along the Elbe River, thus preparing a partition. After John I's resignation in 1282, Albert.II ruled with his still minor nephews Albert.III, Eric I and John II, who by 1296 definitely partitioned the duchy, providing Saxe-Lauenburg for the brothers, and Saxe-Wittenberg for their uncle Albert.II. The last document mentioning the brothers and their uncle Albert.II as Saxon fellow dukes dates back to 1295. A deed of 20 September 1296, circumscribing Saxe-Lauenburg, mentions the Vierland, Sadelband, the land of Ratzeburg, the land of Darsing, and the land of Hadeln as the joint territory of the brothers, separate of Saxe-Wittenberg. Saxe-Lauenburg was also known simply as Lauenburg. While the territory of Saxe-Wittenberg changed drastically over the centuries, the Duchy of Lauenburg remained almost unchanged, until it lost its independence in 1689, when it was inherited by the Principality of Lüneburg. From 1815 to 1864 it was ruled in personal union by the Duke of Holstein, being simultaneously King of Denmark. In 1864 it fell to Prussia after the Second Schleswig War. For a short period Lauenburg was still an autonomous entity, but in 1876 it was incorporated as a district into the Prussian province of Schleswig-Holstein. Lauenburg upon Elbe was the first capital and name giving to the duchy, before it moved in 1619 to Ratzeburg, which remained the capital also when the duchy was downgraded to a district within Prussia. In 1937, by a territorial redeployment within the scope of the Greater Hamburg Act, the city of Geesthacht, some Mecklenburgian exclaves, including Ratzeburg's Cathedral Immunity District, and some Lübeckian exclaves within the district territory, were incorporated into the district. In May 1945 British forces captured the district territory, which in September 1944 had been determined in the London Protocol to become part of the British zone of occupation. On November 13, 1945, the British General Colin Muir Barber and the Soviet General Major Nikolai Grigorovich which Lyashchenko signed the Barber-Lyashchenko Agreement, also Gadbush Agreement in Gadbush, redeploying some municipalities of the Duchy of Lauenburg district and neighboring Mecklenburg, then part of the Soviet zone of occupation. Thus some eastern suburbs of Ratzeburg, such as Zeithen in Lauenburg, Mecco, Bach and Romnitz became part of the district, while the Lauenburgian municipalities of Dechau, Gross and Kleinthurov as well as Lausanne were ceded to Mecklenburg. The redeployment was accomplished on November 26. The respective occupational forces had until November 28 to withdraw to the respective new zonal territories. Politics. Coat of arms Landrat. From 1873 to 82, the hereditary Land Marshal was responsible for administration of the district and the appointment of officers. The Landrat, as a Prussian official, dealt only with the national administration. 1873 to 1874, Regierungsassessor Jung Blue. 1874 to 1881, Graf Andreas von Bernstorff. After October 1, 1882, the Landrat became responsible also for local administration, free from state control. 1882 to 1897, Oskar von Doliger-Koziorowski. 1897 to 1900, Graf Fink von Finkenstein. 1900 to 1907, Friedrich von Bülow. 1907 to 1919, Emil Mathis. 1919 to 1927, Gerd Schonberg. 1927 to 1933, Gustav Voigt. 1933 to 1938, Theodor Front, NSDAP. 1939 to 1945, Erich Juttner, NSDAP. A change in government came about after the Second World War with the 1946 County Statute issued by the British military government. The Landrat now temporarily functioned as an honorary head of the district council, which now dealt with the administration of the district directly. Later, however, the Landrat took over the district administration again. 1945–1946, Ewald Raz. 1946 to 1948, Wilhelm Gulich, SPD. 1948 to 1950, Fritz Vagt, CDU. 1950 to 1969, Gerhard von Schneider. 1969 to 1975, Klaus Prosdorf. 1975 to 2002, Gunter Kropelen, CDU. 2002 present, Gerd Kramer, Independent. District President. The District President is the chairman of the District Council and is selected from its members. The President chairs the meetings of the Council and represents the district, together with the Landrat, abroad. 1994, Norbert Brachmann, CDU. 1994 to 2003, Helga Hinz, SPD. 2003 present, Meinhard Füllner, CDU. Organization. Contrary to others in Schleswig-Holstein, this district is characterized by numerous relatively small municipalities, which practice direct democracy and citizens' participation. The administration most often takes place via offices which are often of a very manageable size. To that extent, the scope of the planned Schleswig-Holstein administrative structure law will be quite significant. According to the draft of the Ministry of the Interior, a minimum size of 8,000 inhabitants was to be implemented for Ämter and independent municipalities as a regional reorganization due to the 1st of April 2007. Thus, the existence of 6 of the 11 Ämter of the district is threatened. However, a minimum size for municipalities belonging to an AMT has not yet been officially determined. Until the deadline, the possibility for voluntary unions exists which, according to the draft, may as well cross district boundaries. The economical emphasis of the district lies on the Hamburg-Bacon Belt, while the eastern parts in the Lauenburg Lakes Nature Park with their abundance of water cater more to tourism and are largely focused on agriculture. The district belongs to Hamburg Metropolitan Region. Transportation. In 2003, the public transit system in the district was integrated into the Hamburger Verkehrsverbund. Connections to the Autobahn network are provided by the A1 in the west, the A24 in the south, the A25 and the A20 in the north of the district. Railway connections exist from Hamburg to Buchanan on to Berlin, and from Lüneburg to Buchanan on to Lübeck, via Ratzeburg. Both routes are operated by Deutsche Bahn AG. From Bergedorf to Geesthacht, there is still the old Bergedorf-Geesthachter Eisenbahn freight route, which now serves as a museum railway line, belonging to the privately operated AKN Eisenbahn. The Elbe harbour of Lauenburg Elbe constitutes one end of the Elbe-Lübeck Canal, established in 1900. Via the Trave River, it connects the Central European network of canals to Lübeck and the Baltic Sea. The canal served as a part of the old salt route. Nearby airports are Lübeck Airport and Hamburg Airport. Towns and municipalities.